So they also asked me for a quote to do a translation. So
Okay.
I gave the quotes, but because I'm working for the doing these jobs for the Ministry of the Primary Industry,
Mm-hmm.
and they asked me to give them a quote to translate 47 pages
Mm-hmm.
from. It has to be with agribusiness. Someone from Cuba wrote it in Spanish,
Mm-hmm.
and I gave the quote, and they said, "Oh, not sure yet," because the guy that asked me the quote, I don't know if the government will pay or not. So, what I would like to do
Mm-hmm.
is to do some tapping to because they are having a lot of business with South America, not only South America, Latin America, starting from Mexico, in North America, down south. And what I would like to do
Mm-hmm.
is, um, I don't, I to do some tapping uh, for. Of course, they like my job, otherwise they wouldn't invite me because I have worked
Right.
for them twice in the past.
Mm-hmm.
To keep doing this on a regular basis, because in the past I did, and that was it. I did, and that was it. So I would like to keep doing.
Okay. When you think about continuing to do it, what feelings do you have?
Sorry?
When you think about continuing to do this on a regular basis,
Mm.
what feelings come up?
The feelings that come up is that, they will probably forget, or something is going to happen, and like the quote, that's not sure yet, and the please excuse me for a second. I'm going to get a tissue for my
No problem.
nose.
Mm-hmm.
It is good that it happened, because when I feel anxious, the first thing that happens is anxious or worried. I have a runny nose.
Mm-hmm.
So when I talk to you about that runny nose, sometimes in the past it happened that I always carry with me a tissue inside my handbag and another one here.
Mm-hmm.
So it happened that I was translating. Fortunately, I was inside, how can I say, something. I was behind a window, glass window, and all the time because I was translating. Another time, there was a group of people, about 15 people around the table, and Minister of Foreign Affairs was speaking, and I was standing next to him translating, and I had to be like this all the time. Very embarrassing.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And another time, last year, when I was working with a Brazilian delegation, we were visiting farms, and we stayed in another city in a hotel. Everything was perfect. And then that night, I couldn't sleep because I had horrible cramps on my 2 feet. I never had again, and I had never had before. Then I looked in my phone, what to do when you have a cramp, and they said to make a massage, and I was massaging my feet. It looks like there's a boycott or something.
I didn't totally understand the connection over there with the cramps and the runny nose. The runny nose I get because you get that when you get anxious. What did the cramps have to do with it?
Yes, I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to think about they're going to forget about it. Something's going to happen. They're not sure yet. They're going to push it off, and you're not going to get more work. Okay, make it as high as you can. The higher you go now, the faster it's going to go.
You mean the higher, the most important the job is?
No,
or
the higher your anxiety, the higher your feeling about it. Your feeling of anxiety about it, the faster it will go. So if you can get up to a 10, get it up to a 10.
11.
Good. And point where you feel it.
Fortunately, it's not in that place anymore.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Once you notice if there's any colors attached to it.
Gray.
Okay. Does it have any shape?
Like a cloud.
Texture?
Not very thick. Like a cloud, you can't hold the cloud. But if you go inside the cloud, it's a bit thick, but you can go through it.
Okay. Does that have any temperature?
Very warm.
Okay. Close your eyes. Put your feet flat on the floor. Hands on your lap. Breathe in deeply. Let out with a sigh. One more time. Breathe in deeply. Let it out with a sigh. Perfect. Now I want you to go into that good feeling, that feeling of that pink dress. If you remember, if I recall correctly, it was in Cinderella's carriage, right? Feel that good feeling over there. Let it go through your whole body. Let it create this big pink bubble all around you. And keep it because we're going to come back to it. Okay, and now I want you to go into that feeling in your throat, that feeling that feels like an 11, the gray, the not very thick cloud, the warm, that one which tells you they're going to forget about it. They're not going to take me again. It was a one-time thing and that's it. It's going to be over afterwards.
The feeling is that it came out through my mouth, through my throat, and there's still a little cord that is coming out.
Okay, let it keep coming out.
Keep coming out, keep coming out.
And as it comes out, fill it up with that pink energy.
Okay.
Okay. Try to bring it back, see what happens instead. They're not going to take you. One-time thing. They're going to forget about it. Push it to the back of their mind.
Okay.
How does it feel now?
It feels wonderful. Yeah. And also, if we could do something for me, not to have any physical discomfort, no abdominal pains, no headache, no runny nose, no cramps, nothing.
Okay. Feel that feeling. I need to have these physical feelings. If I don't have them, how do I know how I feel? I need to have these physical ailments.
Now what came to my mind is that when I had that psychologist, she said to me, and you told me not to pay attention to what people say to me,
That's
but
correct.
how I feel. I had that psychologist that she said to me that I always need to have something. I can't feel 100%. I think that I can feel 100%, otherwise something bad will happen. And also that she said to me that when everything is good, I do something bad to confirm that program. But so what I mean now is that maybe this happens like runny nose, cramps, abdominal pain, just to confirm what she said to me. Because when I was having psychological treatment, everything she said was law. I didn't think for myself. She said, da, 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 you are this, and I said, oh yes, I am.
Okay, so what I want you to do is I want you to see that picture over there of her treating you.
Mm-hmm.
And what I want you to do is I want you to pull those words out of her mouth. Pull them all out of her mouth. All those words that were law for you, that you had to do everything that she said.
And she said that I think that I don't deserve, blah, blah, blah. Okay, taking everything out.
Take all those things out of the picture. Go on, pull them all out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, physically do it. I want you to physically take your hands and pull it out.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Okay, hold that in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
Notice it has a color. What color is it?
It's white, but you know when the white color is dirty and you need to clean it?
Mm-hmm. And notice there's a spin to it. Which way is it spinning?
Clockwise.
Take it by the two sides, make it be the opposite of what it was in every possible way, spinning it faster and faster and doubling the speed.
I saw clockwise. Should I make it anti-clock?
Yeah, make it the opposite.
Yeah.
Doubling the amplitude, doubling the magnitude, doubling the frequency, keep doubling it over and over again until you know it can never go back to the way it was before. It can only get better and better the way it is now. And only when it takes on its life force of its own, it just keeps getting bigger and better. When you know you've got it for all the right reasons, slam it right back into the pictures.
Okay.
Into the picture.
Okay.
And then try to bring back the picture and see what happens instead.
Well, first, it's very, very white color, clean, And also I'm making it pink now.
Okay. And what's going on in the picture?
Sorry.
What is going on in the picture?
Um, it's like a wool ball, and it's pink, very nice pink.
Try to bring back the picture of the psychologist and see what happens instead. You're sitting with a psychologist talking to her, and what's going on there now?
She's saying, of course you can do that. Of course you get there. Of course. You have you are able to do that. You are capable to do that. Because you can do, but you don't need to do anything bad to yourself. You don't need to pay a price.
And are you
You
believing
can
her?
achieve good things without having to pay a price. And this is a good one because usually I'm talking about the past, not present or future, because past is past. Every time I achieved something good, I had to pay a price. Sometimes the price was so high that it was not worth to have had that. But yeah.
Now what I want you to do is I want you to go way, way back to when you were just a little spark in the sky. And I want you to tell that little Lizzie spark, number one, that no matter what happens in life, she will never, ever, 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 ever be alone, because you're always going to be right there with her, keeping her safe right in your heart. And number two, I want you to tell her that throughout life, sometimes positive things happen, and sometimes less than positive things happen. But all those less than positive things aren't her identity. They're not her. They just came to teach her something, and when she learns the lesson, she can just let it go. Doesn't need it anymore. And then I want you to tell her all the things she needs to know to be able to navigate through life better and to maneuver through life in a more successful way. And let all that information go straight into her DNA on the DNA level so they can be expressed into protein and into information anytime she needs it. Just like your hair knows how to grow, just like your fingernails how to grow, just like you know how to breathe without having to think. So this information will be expressed at any time, any moment that you need it without having to think of it, just automatically, naturally, and easily. So go ahead and tell her all those things.
Okay.
And now watch how that spark goes right into that cell, gets fertilized, doubles along with all that DNA into 2 cells, into 4 cells, 8 cells, 16 cells, 32 cells, 64 cells, 128 cells, and so forth and so on, all the way through gestation with all that DNA multiplying on itself as well, creating all that new protein. And then watch as you're born and go through your whole timeline at the speed of thought over and over again, watching how all those less than positive experience suddenly hop on over to the positive side as all that new DNA is being created and being expressed in the protein level whenever you need it, naturally, easily, and automatically. And keep going round and round and round your timeline speed of thought until there's no less than positive experience left, Lizzie. There's only those positive experiences. And all the positive ones get stronger and stronger and bigger as all that DNA is expressed in the protein level. automatically whenever you need it with every breath you take and every beat of your heart. Okay, and now from here,
Okay.
present day, I want you to go 7 days into the future. That would be May 8th, 2017 for you. And step into the...
And I will be, I will be at this time, which is 25 to 8 a.m. I will be at the ministry.
That's right.
Waiting for the people.
And step into her shoes. See
Very
the world through her
confident.
eyes? Good.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Very confident, knowing that everything is all right.
And now go 1 month and 7 days into the future, meaning June 8th, 2017. See what's going on there?
I will be doing that translation that I sent a quote and sending more quotes. And I know that the Minister of Agriculture from Brazil is coming. So it will probably be scheduled for me. And and I will be confident knowing that I can do it and it can happen to me because it happens to other people.
That's right.
And in the past I used to think, how can she do that? How can people have business? How can people start business? And then the business give them enough money to eat, to pay their bills, and then the business grows and they can be, you don't need to be a billionaire or a millionaire, I don't need, but just to have enough money to live without thinking, you know. So if it can happen to other people, why can't it happen to me?
You're absolutely right, Lizzie. It can happen to you too.
Yes. Yeah.
And now go
yeah.
1 year, 1 month, 7 days into the future, June 8th, 2018. And step into the Lizzie of that time's body. See the world through her eyes, hear the world through her ears, feel it with her feelings, and see what's going on.
I'm feeling very happy, very confident. I will be very well succeeded without the fear that something bad is going to happen, because there is a difference. For example, in Brazil is chaotic now, so my sons have to be very careful when they drive because it's dangerous to be kidnapped. This is a fear that everybody, it's just a reality, you know. But the fear that I won't get there, I won't succeed because I make a mess. I know that I have the intellectual ability to do, but I think that to me it's not going to happen because I make a mess. So this feeling will be gone, and I will be absolutely sure about my health and my, how can I say, my cash flow and myself.
Good. Now go ahead and live out a week in her life so you can feel it right now.
Yeah.
Okay. Step out, give her a big hug, tell her how much you look forward to meeting her in another year, 1 month, 7 days. Come on back to the present time. And I want you to go back and look at that Lizzie who was with a psychologist. How is she doing now?
I'm saying to the psychologist, mind your own business. And I'm leaving.
Good. And when you think about that feeling, not going to happen, they're going to forget about me, it's all over. How's that feeling?
Uh, can you repeat the last
When you
sentence,
think about
please?
that feeling, it's not going to happen to me. They're not going to take me. They're going to forget about it. They're going to pass me over. What's your feeling?
I I feel great and I feel confident.
Because if it's not them, it'll be somebody else,
Yes,
right?
yes, somebody else every day
Every day, somebody else.
because
There's a constant
yeah,
turnover, right? And there's more
yeah,
and more people who will need your services.
exactly.
That's what happens when businesses grow, right?
Yeah,
And how's
right.
that feeling? You need to feel some physical pain or ailment.
Um, I still feel a little bit here,
Okay, go deep,
not a
deep
pain,
down.
but just
What I want
you
you to
know when
do,
you have a very light sore throat.
point to it with your finger and point to where you see it outside of you.
In
Okay,
front of
and
me.
now make a frame around it to show me how big it is.
Um,
With your hands, just take your hands, go like this, make a
uh,
frame around it. Okay, we're going to play with it a little bit just to give your subconscious mind the message that we want. Take it off of autopilot, and we're going to take control. Take it by the two sides and make it as big as you possibly can. Is it better or worse?
it's better because it was like this and then stretching. It
What's
became
first? Okay, and now bring it all the way up close to your nose while it's still so big. Is it better or worse?
now it's becoming worse because it's coming close to me.
And now while it's still close to your nose, shrink it down to be the size of a stamp. Better or worse?
A bit scary.
Okay, bring it back out to where it was, but keep it the same size. Better or worse?
Better.
Now put it back out to the normal size. Okay, make a big black frame around it. Okay, and you're probably too young to remember that, but you remember those old television sets that had the contrast button?
Ah, yes, you are much older than me, so you... What did you say?
Those old television sets that had that contrast button at the bottom. You could play around with it to make it whiter or darker. Remember those?
Yeah,
So I want you to
yes.
imagine that contrast button there and play with it till you get it to be the very rightest contrast.
I've put the background, the contrast, I put it white, and
Okay,
now I'm putting it in gold.
good,
And
excellent.
the gold is, the background is gold, and it's like a vacuum cleaner. It's taking it out, pulling it
Perfect.
until it goes and poof.
Okay,
Well,
all
yeah.
gone. Excellent. And what do you feel there now? Think about it. They're
Good.
not going to take me. They're going to pass me
No.
over.
Yes, exactly.
Is it okay now? Do you still feel they're going to pass you over and not going to take you?
No, no.
And what if they do? Then what?
The framework now is it's a view or a landscape of a beautiful beach in New Zealand.
Okay,
Beautiful sea.
beautiful. So that picture doesn't even exist anymore. And you know why?
No. Why?
Because you're allowing in all the work that you can handle, that you could want. And it doesn't have to come from them. It can come from anybody. One thing that's really important to remember is that when you want to manifest something, think about what you want, not how you're going to get it. Let the universe do for you how you're going to get it, because maybe the universe has something much better in mind for you. Maybe there's a much richer person who you don't have to ask the government for the money, and they'll just take you on the spot without even saying 2 words, right? And meantime, you could be fighting this government while you could have had this guy at your doorstep. So think about what you want, what the feeling you're going to have when you have it, and let the universe do the rest for you. Right? Just open yourself up to receiving it. Make sure you're totally clear, no fears about it, no blockades, nothing in your way. And once you get that, the universe is going to bring it to you in the best possible way. That's the way it works. Right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So think of again. They're not going to take you. They're going to pass you over. What's your feeling?
I'm feeling great, yeah. And I know I can get rid of these bad thoughts. And if they come in a sneaky way, like sometimes you are very positive, then comes just a negative thought.
And what are you going to do then? What are you going to do?
Yeah, so I'm going to say, go away.
Okay, is it going to go?
I'm going to throw it to that pink or white. A hurricane that comes like this, will take them.
Okay, good. And now, in a moment, not yet, but a moment, I'm going to ask you, I'm going to count 1 to 5, then I'm going to ask you to slowly open your eyes at the rate and speed that's good for you to come back to this new reality that you've created for yourself. You did the work, you came out here, you deserve it. Number 1.
Yeah.
Knowing that all the messages from me to you and from you to your subconscious mind are just going to grow stronger and stronger with every breath you take and every beat of your heart. Number 2, knowing that you did the work. You came out here, you put yourself out, and you deserve it. It's your gift to you. Number 3, knowing that any problem that might arise, your other conscious mind will always come up with the 3 best solutions so that you can solve that problem in the fastest, most efficient way, returning to be the awesome self that you were created to be. Number 4, like a splash of cool water from underground spring in the mountain, refreshing you with every drop that hits your face. Number 5, ready to thrive, open your eyes, feeling alive at the rate and speed that's good for you to face the new world that you created for yourself. How are you feeling?
Great.
Good. Will it matter
Absolutely.
if they don't answer you and they say, sorry, we're not going to take you?
No, because something else will come up.
Something better, right?
Yeah. The translation has for the interpretation job for the Mexican delegation and the Peruvian delegation are already confirmed.
Okay, good.
What hasn't been confirmed is the translation job of the 48 pages.
Okay. And if not that, something better, right?
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Right.
So we're going to have a little break now of, I guess, like 3 weeks.
Yes.
And I'll see you in a month then.
Yeah, all the best.
You too, and I look forward to hearing wonderful things.
Yeah, thank you very much for everything. You are awesome.
Thank you.
Full marks for you.
Thank you.
And my son, he needs to have a treatment with you, and as soon as I receive this money, I pay 1 session for him, and then he has to work out for himself. He says, is it working? Yes. Is it working? Yes.
Okay, with pleasure.
Okay, you have a great time.
Thank you.
And I see you in 1 month's time. Thank you.
Okay, you too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Take care.